Welcome back, folks. This is Suave, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Konosuba Tabletop Role-Playing Game Rulebook. This is translated and published by Yen Press. We're going to be taking a look at this book and see what it has to offer, and also talk about something that I have a personal issue with this specific title. So without further ado, let's begin. Alrighty, folks, here we have Konosuba, the Tabletop Role-Playing Game Rulebook by Yen Press. Now, normally Yen Press is a company that translates and publishes manga, light novels. This is their first attempt at doing a game rulebook for an RPG coming from Japan. And I believe they have a Goblin Slayer one coming later this year too. So as you can see, we have a nice softcover book here. It's a glossy cover. It features artwork featuring the characters from Konosuba. I really love the artwork that they got going on here. We're going to take a quick look at the spine real quick. A very simplistic spine. You got the title being an RPG. Yen On is just an imprint of Yen Press, so that's who's publishing this book. And of course we have the back cover featuring some more artwork, some summary here at the bottom. And the info here, you can see that this is only a $20 MSRP book, which is very different from what you will get here in the West with RPG books. Normally you get these really big, chunky, hardcover books, and they're like $50 minimum. I can give you one little example here. This is like one RPG book that I have just laying around with a hardcover, and you can compare it side by side, or in this case top to bottom. There's a very big noticeable difference of what you get from an RPG book over in Japan versus an RPG book that's designed here in the West. And there's a good reason for that. Over there in the East, they really want shelf space. They really want affordability. And so that's why you get these nice little softcover books. They're very affordable. They have all the game rules all in here with all these little tables and whatnot. And you don't have to rely on all these glossy pages with so many colored images with trying to build up the scenery, because you already get that with the anime, the light novel, the manga. So you get all that already, so you don't have to really convince people what the world is like. All right, let's go ahead and open up this book. So if you are new to this channel because the RPG book drew you in, just know that I'm not here to review RPG mechanics. I'm more here just to showcase what's inside this book, what you're supposed to be looking forward to, and also what might be missing. Now, the beginning parts of this book is actually kind of fun. You get a nice little replay section. Now, replay section is not so much different from what we get here in the West, where you get like a little example of how players are interacting within the game, so you get a feel of what the game is like. However, in this case, you actually get some really cool all-stars that are featured in this replay section. You get the author of Konosuba, the author of ReZero, the author of Pain to Win in a VR MMO, some other authors here. And so they're all kind of just sitting around. You get to see what characters they're creating around over here, I believe. So you get a nice feel of what their characters look like, what their thought process was behind it. Get a feel for what type of character they're trying to play as. And then you get this really long, chunky, I'm trying to even, because it's not even that far from this section here. Yeah. You get this much chunk out of the book as your replay section. So it's not just like 5 or 6 pages worth of people talking about adventuring. You get all of this, and it's not just text too. You get some nice little diagrams, some little examples of combat. So it's a really nice read as to get a feel for what this game is and what it has to offer, and really just to get your toes wet with this style of gameplay. So when you're done reading the replay section, you get straight into the character section. And the character section goes straight into how character creation goes about. And you even get some nice pre-generated characters here, but we won't go too far into all these pre-gen characters, because you should be buying the book if you want to see what those characters look like and what all their stats are. Further on up ahead, we will get to the playable races. There are 3 races here that you can choose from. You can be the reincarnated person itself, so you can be someone from modern day Japan reincarnated into the world of Konosuba. You can be a native inhabitant who was born within the world of Konosuba, or you can be a Crimson Magic Clan person, which I think is going to be very popular with a lot of people. Aside from picking your race, you also have some starting and advanced classes. So you have the adventurer, the warrior, you have some skills there for the warrior, you have the priest, more skills, the wizard, and I think we have one more starting class or 2 more, the thief, and then you have some other ones that are summarized more in smaller characters here, like the archer, elemental, and then you get more into the advanced classes later on, where you get the rune knight. No, rune knight was actually a starting class, my bad. And here we go. So you got like crusader, Archpriest, Archwizard. So those are some of the advanced classes that you got going on. Going through the book itself, it does seem like a very simplistic system. It only uses d6s. It has very easy checks going on. There's not a whole lot of complicated crunch going on. But you do get enough info here in order to create your world, to create your adventure, in order to dive yourself into the world of Konosuba and just have a really fun time. Honestly, just reading through this book, it does seem like it's something that I could easily just pick up and run through with some friends who are interested, and we could probably just have a really fun time going through this. However, there is that one issue that I was talking about near the beginning of the video, and we're about to get to it right now, and that's here with the character sheets themselves. Now in this game, like in any other RPG, you have character sheets, you have a record sheet here, and you get to see what it looks like in the book. However, nowhere in this book does it reference where you can download the character sheets, and they even tried to go to the Yen Press website itself, and it seems like they don't host the PDF files for those character sheets, so you're really only left with the option to go and take this small little book and maybe photocopy your own, and then it's going to look like these small little tables on a big piece of paper, and it's going to look kind of awkward. If we come over to the Yen Press website, we can see that this is the Konosuba Tabletop Role-Playing Game product page, and when scrolling down here, this is the digital download version of this product, and over here, this is where you can buy the book. And you can see that there is no traditional RPG or game channels that they're using. They're actually using just the same book channels that they would use for any of their manga or their light novels. So you can get it on Bookwalker, Google Play Books, iBooks, Kobo. And let's just entertain this idea. So let's go ahead and check out the Bookwalker page. And the Bookwalker isn't really working, so let's just type in Konosuba real quick. So here we have the tabletop role-playing game. Sorry about that. Let's hit the preview button here. Let's let this thing load up in just a little bit. And over here, yeah, we got the preview page for the digital download. And this is what you're going to get if you buy the digital download copy. You're not going to get a high quality PDF that you can take notes on, highlight, create your own tabs. You're just going to get this reader version, and you can't even print something like this. You're just going to get blocked if you try to print something like this. The only way I could see if you want a character sheet is if you go to one of these readers like this that you can browse through your browser, and then maybe use the snippet tool, sort of like this. Let me see if I can bring it up here and use the snippet tool and maybe grab something like this. Or if you have it open on your tablet, maybe you can put a full screen on the character sheet and do a snapshot with your tablet, something like that. But even then, bringing that over and importing it to a Word document or some sort of printer-friendly document, it's probably not going to look as crisp as it could be. And I honestly think this is just a misstep on Yen Press's part. Maybe it's just because they're not used to selling role-playing games or games in general. They're just used to selling light novels and manga. And because most of the time people, when they go to RPGs, they go to a website like this, DriveThruRPG, where you can get all the high-quality PDFs straight from the publisher. So if I wanted to buy like Hunter the Visual or something like that, you can get straight up the PDF right here or whatever print on demand they have available. But even something like this where you can just get the straight-up PDF from the publisher themselves, and then that's just a really quick way to get it. This is where people get their RPGs. Because honestly, the consumer should not have to go through all these extra steps just to get a nice, clean, and crisp character sheet. A character sheet that is required to play the game that they are selling. And hopefully this gets fixed soon, because they do have another RPG coming up, like I was saying before. This is the Yen Press page for the Goblin Slayer tabletop role-playing game, which is going to be coming out June 21st, 2022. So just a little over 2 months from now. And it looks like they're going to be using the same channels once again for the digital copy. So hopefully we don't get a repeat of what's going on right now. Anyways, folks, that was a piece of information that I wanted you to have before you go diving into this specific book. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this book, if you're going to pick up a title yourself. And if you like this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe. That helps me out tremendously. With that being said, I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.